Welcome back to SlumberMyth, a place where we unwrap the things that haunt us, sometimes literally. Today we are talking about a Christmas tradition that has completely vanished from modern day life. And frankly, I think we should bring it back, because long before peppermint mochas and Hallmark and aggressively cheerful playlists, winter was the season for something else entirely. Ghost stories. Yes. Victorian families would gather around the fire on Christmas Eve to scare the absolute sugar plums out of one another. I'm Cora Poe, and this is SlumberMyth, a place for insomnia fuel. The lost Victorian tradition of Christmas ghost stories. Section 1. The Victorian horror holidays. Imagine it. You're in 1860. The nights are long, the air is cold, and there is absolutely nothing to do after 4 p.m. Well, except stare into the void and pray that the candle doesn't go out. No electricity, no phones, no doom scrolling, no AI slop to sort through, just darkness. And the creaking house around you, if you're lucky, and wind that sounds like it's clawing at the shutters. It kind of feels spooky all the time. And in those endless nights, Victorians made a holiday ritual out of telling ghost stories. Spoopy family entertainment. There were entire Christmas magazines dedicated to them. Charles Dickens didn't accidentally write A Christmas Carol. He was following an already popular tradition. Ghost stories were a social activity. Men, women, children, everyone sat close together by the fire. They told stories of phantoms, omens, wandering spirits, and mysterious deaths. And let's not forget, uncanny encounters at the crossroads. Winter wasn't about light and joy yet. Not entirely, like it is now. No. It was about the thin veil between worlds. If autumn was spooky because it was the thinning of the veil, winter is when that veil stays thin. So how about that for some spooky logic? Section 2. Why Christmas was the ghost season. So why Christmas? Why not Halloween? Because in Europe, midwinter, or the solstice, was believed to be a liminal time, a cosmic crossroads. A period when the sun was at its weakest, the nights were at their longest, and the world of the dead is always close by. Long, long ago, obviously far before Victorian times, before Christianity arrived, winter festivals were already about death and rebirth, ancestors and spirits. And Christianity didn't necessarily erase that. It kind of just threw ribbons all over it and called it its own. Even Dickens understood this. When Jacob Marley rattled into Scrooge's bedroom shaking his chains, that was not inventing a Christmas ghost. The Victorians considered it normal, even comforting. It was comfortable to talk about death in the winter. You had to come to terms with darkness, with the cold, with the cycles of nature. And what better way to do that than dramatic storytelling? Section 3. What Victorian ghost stories were like. Victorian ghost stories weren't about gore or shock value. They were quiet, atmospheric. Someone sees a face in a window that shouldn't be there. You old man. A long dead lover appears at midnight. Voices whisper in an empty hallway. A child's toy moves on its own. And darker than black shadows that linger after the candle goes out. These were stories written for people who, during the Victorian era, were wealthy enough to live in drafty houses, be it with no central heating, and those people who already believed the world was full of hidden spirits. Writers like M.R. James would publish a ghost story every Christmas Eve. Literally an annual event that people waited for. Looked forward to, just like any other part of Christmas that we do now. It was like a Victorian version of dropping a spooky Netflix special for Christmas. Magazines printed ghost stories with beautiful illustrations. Families would read them aloud to each other. And after these kinds of stories, there are sure to be many children that slept with one eye open, and it wasn't because of Santa Claus. Section 4. Why the tradition died. So what happened? Why don't we do this anymore? Frankly, electricity. Once homes got brighter and safer at night, our instinctual connection to the dark began to fade as we just turned the lights on whenever we wanted. And then the 20th century commercialized Christmas. Yay, capitalism time. Let's dive into it. Ghost stories didn't really fit the brand. Christmas became light, loud, and child-centered, and very capitalism flavored. The winter as death concept evaporated, except the vibes never really left us. Again, look at A Christmas Carol, The Nutcracker, or hell, even The Polar Express. They are all ghost stories, either quite obviously or in disguise. Spirits, dreams, magical visitations, and every time, those liminal winter nights. The bones are still there. Section 5. Why we should bring it back. I mean, I think it's time. Plus, when society collapses, it will be nice to have some practice in social interactions that aren't violent and solely for the purpose of entertainment and closeness. But for right now, for a world that's noisy and stressful and always online, there's something healing about gathering and enjoying the dark with a candle, a warm blanket, and a spooky tale. It's primal. It feels right. It's been part of our race for millennia, and only in the last couple hundred years have we neglected it. This December, I challenge you. Revive the tradition. Read a ghost story. Tell one to your friends. Write one for your family or your kids or your lover. Light a candle, turn off the lights, make winter mysterious again. And hell, if you want, I'll make whole episodes reading my favorite Victorian ghost stories. Beyond the pages style. I have this whole book. And Mr. James is right here. I'd be happy to pick out some of my favorites to read to you guys. If you would enjoy that, please let me know in the comments. As always, thank you so much for watching, and happy nightmares.